A lot of schools aren't teaching our students Black history these days. In 2013, I was cruising down U Street with my grandmother, who's 96 now, and we were at the intersection at 14th and U, and back in the Black Broadway days, it was known as the Black Man's Connecticut Avenue. So we were traveling across the intersection of 14th and U, which has changed tremendously since the early 1920s and 30s and 40s and 50s even. And she just started narrating what used to be there. I grew up hearing the same few lines about Black Broadway, which took place along the U Street quarter, and typically they would say Black Broadway was coined by Pearl Bailey, Duke Ellington played there. However, it wasn't until I started this project that I really took a deeper historical dive into the fabric of the community and discovered the Black intellectuals that lived around the U Street quarter and how they landed there.
Black people came to U Street because that was one of the nicest streets, and that's where people who thought something of themselves would go, on U Street.
Most of the blacks had all of U Street. That used to be bread and butter, and we used to have some well-dressed black men who used to dress up. U Street was not a heaven, but it was a place for all the blacks together.
This was the thriving community of the African American society, and business-wise as well. My first job was at Industrial Bank of Washington, the only minority bank in the city at that time. After having been employed there for a very short time, you realize the importance of U Street, what we called our Black Broadway.
So the U Street quarter, it was anchored by Howard University, which opened in 1867. And so that was a key time for African Americans. We're talking after the Emancipation Proclamation, which gave African Americans freedom. And so the whole notion was to uplift the race through education. They formed one of the first African American high schools, the M Street School, which now is the Dunbar High School. You had top thought leaders and educators and early Black scholars. Mary Church Terrell was on the faculty there. Her husband was the principal, Judge Terrell, who was one of the first municipal judges here in Washington, D.C. And then you had Carter G. Woodson, the father of Black history. He was on the faculty there. And so there were a number of key Black thought leaders who were teaching at M Street School, which actually became the top academic school in the country, period. It was outscoring even the external community schools of that time.
It was a place where the community was empowered. It was a place for fraternization, for the doctor, lawyers, and Indian chiefs of our community to join together and enjoy wonderful music. It was a place where there was great pride for our own talent, our own entertainment.
The mission of the project is that it will serve as a destination. I call the website a living digital history book, so that people can go and sort of learn about the history and understand and get a sense of the history that lies beneath the surface as they walk down the U Street quarter.